Hey guys. So today I just wanted to talk about different ways you can sort of salvage a digital painting after the fact, after it's all done. So this is a poster I did for a band a couple of years ago, and maybe 2012, 2013. And I was looking back at it, and I was like, oh, like there's a lot of potential. Like I really like to redo it, but like, oh my god, like there's just so much going on, like because like there's so much going on here. There's like text in front of the illustration, and then I've got different color shifts. I've got the orange, and then I've got the green on top. I've got like the regular orange stuff over here, and then I've got like the green that affects the orange over there. Like it's kind of all over the place. This text in here, like if I was just to go back in and to just start like painting back on top of it, all that kind of stuff, like I'd be here forever. It'd be really, really laborious. You can do it, that's fine, but at some point you can either paint on top of this thing, or you can just scrap the whole thing and start from the beginning, or the middle way would be to use a bit of the old stuff, but paint certain bits anew. So what I ended up doing was, okay, right, so over here, I had a Photoshop layer, I had a Photoshop file which didn't have the text, so that was cool, that's fine. But the rest, everything was still flattened together. So what you do here is you just make a new layer, which is just blank white, completely blank white, and you just reduce your opacity like that, just like that. That's cool. It's almost like putting tracing paper on top of everything. And then just from here, I just drew everything anew. I just went on top and I said, okay, I want to define, the eyes over here a little better, and that kind of thing, and this kind of thing. I want the wrinkles to be like this, blah blah blah, etc., etc. Everything. Because the deal is when you're painting, you're worrying about color and tone and like lighting direction and your brush stroke. Like there's so much stuff that that's going on in my head. But if we just make this a simple matter of drawing, I'm only thinking about one thing, and that is just black and white lines. I don't have to like worry myself with like tone and color and all this other kind of shit. Like just do the line work, and it's super simple. So yeah, on and on and on and on and on like that until I got just kind of a rougher guide. As you can see, like beforehand, I had big issues. Like again, I painted this a couple of years ago when my skill level was obviously not what it is today. So, and I also had like a tight deadline. So you can see there's a lot of lack of definition in like the octopus suckers, all that kind of stuff, and like total like lack of definition over here. This octopus is holding like some mustard and some like and a seagull in its tentacles, but like total lack of definition. So by going back and just putting some line work in, I was able to like define everything out, so it's all good. So once I was, and then really refine, put like and even change some of the drawings and put like a ketchup bottle in there, and really like over here back before I had like this little it's like a trident / fork, and yeah, I thought it's pretty simple, it's pretty shitty, so I wanted to really kind of like make it right. So again, like here I have got a much better defined trident, it's in perspective and it's kind of properly drawn out, all that kind of stuff. So cool, so we're good. So we got a good line drawing, we're happy, good, sweet. Then so we got a line drawing. Then underneath underneath my liner, I just made a layer, just a layer that goes underneath, just to like, it's just a solid layer which I'm gonna start attaching all these colors to. Alright, so blah 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 blah, keep on going till you fill out your whole thing how you like it. And then I had so you had that. I just changed it to white. It was originally gray. Control U or Command U, and you just change color, whatever works for you. I just had it as white. Cool. And then by doing this, then you start to attach what's called clipping masks. So basically, let's start from the beginning. Like, you make. I'll just quickly explain the concept of a clipping mask. So what I was basically doing is, got my drawing. It's all good on one layer, and underneath I make a mask. I'm just gonna be super rough. You get the idea. Cool. We got that. Now, normally, if I wanted to like start putting colors on underneath, I'd have to really like go and make an effort to stay within the lines. But this way, if I go over to my layer, I hold down Alt and I move my cursor just between the two layers and click it, and then it clips. So that now when I draw, it's all just stuck within there. So if I ever want to make like shadows and that kind of thing, I can just set that to multiply. Yeah, so I could just paint within here and it's all good, kind of thing. And then again, make a new layer, attach it again, and I can start doing all my rendering and all this kind of stuff. Blah blah blah. You get the idea. That's basically the concept behind it, right? So back to the piece. No, not that one. That's the final. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So here we got our thing, and then I put a base layer of orange where I want it. What else did I do? And then again, yeah, I was able to just like separate out the different sections that I wanted. So the main skin is going to be here. It's this kind of orange, and then I'm going to have like the underside, this kind of thing, and then the suckers are all on its own layer and that kind of thing. So again, I'm breaking everything down. The fork has its own layer, and what's really cool, so I got all that, and then when I put on top, I went on top and did my shadows, and I had my shadows in a completely separate layer. And let's remove this background haze. So I have my shadows all just in a dark blue, right? And so you can just get all that. And what's going on here is like back to the original. Like the shadows will affect different colors differently, right? So if I was trying to like paint new shadows here, I'd have to like factor in about how a blue shadow would affect this area, but how would the green shadow affect this area, and all this kind of stuff. But now it's all separated. I have my blue shadow affecting all different parts of the piece normally, and if I take it was on multiply, normally it's this color, and I can just paint with that. Let's set it to multiply, and as you can see, it's affecting all these colors differently, and that's just how I want it, which is cool. So it helps me keep everything separated like I want it. And then again, he's in the water, so I've got like some bounce light from some underlighting from the green, all this kind of stuff on a new layer. Blah blah blah. Once I feel, and you again, more rendering. Once I feel that I've gone as far as I can with the line work, I can start to paint on top of my lines, so that I make a layer above my lines, and I start to, what have I done here? Oh, I get like over here, like I wanted to paint on top of the line, that kind of thing. Where else did I go? Yeah, this kind of thing. Blah blah blah, on and on and on and on and on and on. And once and then you can put all these layers. You group them. You can like highlight them all together. Hold down Shift, highlight them all together, press Control G or Command G, and then they go into a layer. So then you can, you know, move everything around at once and still have all your complicated layer structures contained within there. And I can still, you know, paint behind the character and all this kind of stuff, and it's all good. So again, blah blah blah, keep on going until I finally had this sort of piece, which is what we had in the end. So again, it's a super complicated illustration with, you know, a lot of factors. You know, there's like a lot of different materials, you know, like the octopus's skin, plus the feathers of the birds, plus the suckers, plus this sort of like metallic kind of fork. And I have chosen to paint on top of some line work. I have chosen to keep some line work. You know, this little seagull, basically the story is this octopus dude, he's grabbing seagulls out of the air, and he's grabbing them, and he's got like some like ketchup, tomato sauce, got some mustard, and he's made like this sort of like headdress out of the feathers of the seagulls, and yeah, and he's dragging them underwater to like go underwater, and I guess it's eating them. And yeah, I hope that helped. That's basically one way of salvaging an old painting. Like, instead of like doing it all over again from the very beginning, you can sort of draw on top of and separate certain parts from the original image and all that kind of stuff. So I hope that helped. Cool. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.